UFC Seattle continues to be a stacked card as they've announced another big fight for the event. My name is James Lynch. Dominick Cruz going to be returning, the former bantamweight champion, taking on Rob Font. I'm a little surprised. I did not think Dominick Cruz was going to fight again. I know he talked about, I think in like a recent interview with TMZ that he was going to come back, but we haven't seen him fight since 2022. It's been a while. Cruz has got a really nice gig as a UFC commentator, but he does return. Now, in terms of him coming back, that was surprising. Him fighting Rob Font is not super surprising. I think a lot of people got to realize when you've got like a former champion coming back to fight and he's later in his career, he's not just going to fight some up-and-comer. The Rob Font fight makes a lot of sense. It's a good veterans matchup. Both of these guys are older in the division. Font turning back the clock in his last fight, getting a nice win over Kyler Phillips. So really good fight added to the weight class. I'm not sure how much longer, either of these guys, well, mainly Cruz is going to fight. This very well could be a retirement fight, but MMA Junkie having the news here from ESPN, I guess, who talked to Hunter Campbell. They're announcing a lot of really good cards, but look at this event. I mean, this is one of the best fight night cards they put together in a while here. You got Curtis Blades on here, Brendan Allen, Anthony Hernandez. Apparently Chiesa's TBA on this card. I don't know who he's fighting. Edson Barbosa, Steve Garcia, Cejudo and Song Yadong. I just did a video on that earlier, but really, really good fight here. Now let's do quick tail the tape between these two. Dominick Cruz will be turning, he'll be turning 40 after this card's over. So he's birthday in March. So he's almost getting to 40 at this point. And like I said, the last fight for him was that loss to Chito Vera back in August of 2022. So really long layoff coming into this one. And is 2-2 in his last four. He's actually 2-3 in his last three, including losing the title to Cody Garbrandt. So it's been a bit here. Cruz, looking to obviously get in the win column since the Pedro Munoz fight back in 2021. And like I mentioned there, Rob Font turning back the clock. He is 37 years old. He'll be turning 38 in June. So he is 5'8" with a 71.5 inch reach. Dominick Cruz is 5'8" with a 68 inch reach. So they're the same height, and the reach goes to Rob Font, which he's sort of used to using that jab and all that. So yeah, he'll have a reach advantage in this fight. And like I mentioned there, after losing 2 in a row to Corey Sandhagen and Davison Figueroa, he gets the win over Kyler Phillips. Very good performance for Rob Font. One of the biggest upsets last year. The odds makers got that one wrong on that one. Font was a big underdog going into that fight. He gets it done. As far as a pick, I got to go Rob Font here. I really don't think we're going to see a Dominick Cruz that we've seen in past fights. He's also taken some damage, right? The Chito Vera fight was finished, and Chito's not much of a finisher lately. If you look at Chito Vera, typically he is going the distance a lot. So the fact that he was able to finish Cruz is not a very good sign here. And even the fight prior to that, Pedro Munoz, if you remember, almost finished him in the first round of their fight. Fought Casey Kenny prior to that. I mean, just he's so inactive overall. And he's going to be 40 here. I mean, if this fight happened, 5-6 years ago, I'd absolutely be picking Dominick Cruz. But Rob Font, yeah, I mean, he's on a bit of a skid too. But I think Font's got a little bit more left in the tank than Dominick Cruz does at this point, and he's certainly been a lot more active. Like even if you just look since 2022, Rob Font's had what? If we're going off, when was Cruz's last fight? His last fight was August of 2022. So since then, Font's had 4 fights since then, so that's a lot. So yeah, I'm going Rob Font decision on this fight. It's only 3 rounds, right? So at least I'm assuming it is. They haven't said anything in here, but I don't think this is going to be, I mean, there's no reason to do this 5 rounds. So it's going to be a 3-round fight. But yeah, I like Rob Font by decision to get it done in this fight. I think he uses that jab, keeps the fight standing, and I think he ends up getting it done. But fun fight for Seattle. And again, got to thank the UFC as a guy who lives in the Pacific Northwest. I live near Seattle. Loving this fight night card. This is going to be shaping up to be one of the best. So very excited for that. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Was this the fight to make for Dominick Cruz? I guess the only downside is, why didn't they just do Cruz and Cejudo? That would have been, a bigger marquee fight to put together in terms of those 2 names. Of course, there was that whole issue with Cruz and Cejudo's manager. That might have been a bit better. You could also have done Sean O'Malley and Dominick Cruz. I don't know. There's a few other options, but I like the fact that Cruz is getting that veteran treatment with one of his last fights in his career. So to me, I think that works out well. And honestly, for Rob Font after that last performance, he deserves another big name. So this is good for Font as well. Like I said, let me know your prediction. Was this the fight to make? And hit the like button on this video. It really helps out the algorithm. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching. By the way, we'll be doing an early look preview on this fight and obviously the Cejudo fight at some point here pretty soon. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.